All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Peak to Middle School. My name is Narwhal. I'm here with Kyle.
How's it going?
How's it going, Kyle? Season 3.
Is it season 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's season 3 now.
It's 2020.
2020, episode 101, season 3. Today's a big day.
Well, I hope you guys all made it into 2020. It's currently actually 2019 when we're recording this.
Wow, man. Trippy.
So we're kind of in the future right now?
Speaking of the space-time continuum.
What is that?
I don't know.
Okay.
But Morgan Freeman tweeted, first of all, anything that man tweets has to be respected. Like, he could tweet.
Wasn't he one of those Me Too people, though?
Morgan Freeman? No. There's never been anything bad against Morgan Freeman.
You might have to look that up.
I mean, there might have been, but dude, he's too old.
I just love his voice. I mean, dude, old people. What are you talking about?
Like, he's kind of like past the point where anyone, like, if a 99-year-old man gets accused of something, it's like he's gonna die anyway. Like,
I mean, he's not 99.
I know, but like, it's still wrong. But I feel like people care less than if it was like, Louis C.K., who's like,
yeah, but like Morgan Freeman probably did it when he was younger.
Yeah, no.
Look, I don't even know if he did anything.
I don't know if he
innocent
did
until proven guilty. I just feel like I might have heard that somewhere.
Maybe, but he tweets,
I don't want to slander the name.
We should have a holiday called Space Day where all the lights around the world are shut off the whole night to reduce light pollution so that we can see the galaxy.
I'm so down for that. I've never seen the galaxy.
You never?
No. When would I have seen that? I've seen the stars. Like if I go like to a cabin or something and there's not a lot of light,
yeah,
I can see a lot of stars. But I've never seen like the milk.
One time, just like the summer of junior year going into senior year of high school, I went on a trip with like Connor, Chief, Murtaza, and we went to like the Olympic Peninsula. And like there's a lot of places you can go where like it's far away from any big city to where you can look up and like see the whole Milky Way. That's pretty dope.
Dude, one of my bucket list items is to see the Northern Lights.
Where do you go? Where are those?
North.
Like Iceland?
Yeah, you can go like Iceland. You could go to Norway. Anywhere like in the Arctic Circle.
Yeah.
Are there Southern Lights?
What's the Arctic Circle?
Circle of Arctic.
But is that like
it's just like
the North Pole? Is that different than the Arctic Circle?
Well, it's in the Arctic Circle.
Okay.
Arctic Circle.
And what is the North Pole like? An area, just like a general? Because it's not a country.
Well, the pole. There's probably a pole. Is there a pole there? Did someone put a pole in? Like it's the perfect center of the Earth.
I think there's an actual pole, but
I don't think there's a pole. There can't be a real pole.
You don't think there's? I'm gonna look.
How'd they get into the ice?
You can, bro.
Melt the ice.
You can dig in the ice. It's not hard. 2019.
Yeah,
bro.
but North Pole though.
Is there?
It's 2020 actually.
Pole at the North Pole. There's no land at the North Pole. Instead, it's all ice that's floating on top of the Arctic Ocean. Over the past 4 decades, scientists have seen a steep decline in both the amount and thickness of the Arctic sea ice during the
global warming.
That still doesn't tell me if there's a pole.
I'm going to assume there's not a pole. Yeah, dude, the tundra or the Arctic Circle, I think it's just the ring of ice, maybe. We're
really dumb.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, it's bad.
Yeah, like for the longest time, I thought that it was like a country. Like Antarctica is actually land.
Antarctica is a continent.
Ice. Yeah. But like they have actual land too.
So the North Pole is just a bunch of floating ice.
Yeah, not for long. It's about to just be a bunch
Dude,
of
that's
water.
going to be sad. Think about the day when the North Pole doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I mean, it'll still be there. It's still
not if it all melts. It's just then it's just the Arctic
Ocean.
Ocean.
Well, the ice isn't there, but it's still the North Pole. Do you know what the pole is?
Oh, it's just like the point.
Yeah.
The area.
Yeah, it's like the northernmost point.
Yeah.
Although, why do we decide that like north is north and south is south? Like, what if we had flown into space like a different way? You know what I mean?
Well, they're the cardinal directions.
Yeah. No, I understand. I understand north, south, east, west. That's fine. But like, why isn't it like flipped 180 degrees?
I think I know there's reasoning. I couldn't tell you what you think. They just chose like, you know what, we're just gonna say this is north.
I think so, because you could look at, if you come out of outer space, you could just like flip around and then everything's upside down and it probably looks so different.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked at the map of like the world upside down?
It doesn't look right.
It doesn't look right.
But it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I had a dream no, this was actually like years ago.
Okay.
But I have had a dream where, because I remember learning or having someone tell me that in space, like since there's no gravity, if you're upside down, you don't feel like you're upside down because there is no right side up or right side down. But I had a dream that I was drowning And that was happening, so that I was like flipping around underwater, couldn't breathe, but I also couldn't tell which way was up.
Dude, that's what happens if you go like scuba diving and he gets like farther down, like far down.
Yeah.
I said it twice. I think that can happen. You get disoriented and you like don't know which way is which way.
Because it's so dark.
I think.
But I feel like in the water though, like
divers.
isn't there like natural movement that like brings you up to the surface, right?
I mean, I don't think. Look, I think if you run out of air, like you're not gonna like float all the way up in time. Plus, I don't know if you have that much shit on you, you might just sink.
Oh yeah.
Because if you're scuba diving, you might have stuff that makes you sink.
Yeah, so you can't even float up if you wanted to.
But something feels wrong about that.
No, I think there's ways to float up, but it's like with a button.
You couldn't you just pull some string and like you just kind of shoot up
like a parachute, but
it's
underwater.
Like it's 2020. Yeah, opposite parachute.
Dude,
you know what I just realized is the North Pole is the axis that the Earth spins on. I think.
Yeah, but I mean, that goes through the whole.
But we're tilted though.
Yeah.
So is the North Pole like not that north? I think it's the way we spin it. I don't think it's the most northernmost point if you're looking at like the sun, you know, like from the sun's angle. Okay. I think the northernmost point's like maybe a little off to the side. Look, we're a couple dummies.
I feel like this has been one of our dumbest starts to an episode.
I mean,
but
what do you expect?
Hey, yeah,
2020, not much has changed.
What's going on, Kyle?
I leave for Europe tomorrow.
Are you excited?
But in reality, I'm already back, and it was really fun.
But anyways, guys, if you are on one of the audio streaming platforms, I recommend you guys check out YouTube because we're mixing it up for season 3. Kyle and I have flip spots.
You can see the other half of our face.
Yeah, I actually mainly wanted to do this because this side of my face is my good face.
Yeah,
and it's like facing the camera, and like
other
my
side
hair.
This is my bad side.
See, and my hair like flows this way, so it looks better. Like when I take a selfie, I'm always taking it from the left side of my face, like a little offset.
Yeah, so now I'm on my bad side, so now I'm looking extra ugly, but that's okay.
Yeah,
you gotta do things for each other.
Yeah. Anyways, to make things super depressing, today has been 2 years.
Don't say it like that.
Today has been 2 years since our buddy Connor passed away.
When we're recording this, not when it comes out.
The day we're recording this, December 20th. Now, obviously, if you guys don't know us personally, you like have never met Connor, but we've talked about him quite a bit on the show.
He's the reason for all the sloths.
Yeah, so anytime you guys see a sloth, whether it's like the one on the microphone or in the background, Kyle's wearing a sloth on his shirt. We got sloth tattoos.
Yep.
It's because Connor really liked sloths. And so one thing I wanted to ask you, Kyle, what do you think you have learned the most since having your best friend pass away? What has been like the biggest thing you feel like you've grown as a person or learned from this tough experience?
That's a good question. I've definitely learned a lot about life and about myself. I think the biggest couple things that I've learned are that, like, I guess right away when it happened, I was just like not in a good place, really sad, just dealing with a bunch of stuff, and I wasn't like happy with myself. I wasn't happy with a lot of things and where I was at. My biggest thing was like taking action to make my life better, and that was like coming home, starting the podcast with you, and like spending more time with my friends, and with my family. And so I guess the biggest thing that I've learned is to just, if you're not happy with where you're at in life, like don't be afraid to make a change, and do things. Like life is short and you don't know when it's going to end. So do things that make you happy. And obviously if like doing heroin makes you happy, like maybe don't do that.
Probably don't do heroin.
But what I'm saying is like,
I mean, hey, if you really love it,
like I can't stop you, but like I wouldn't recommend it, but do things that make you happy, make you feel good about yourself. And honestly, I feel like that's the key to happiness. And the other thing is, I had made a post. So if you follow me on Instagram, you see that the last thing I said was the way you should live your life, in my opinion, is always be there for people that you love. Always be there for them, and never take things too seriously. Like, don't take life too seriously. You can be in a shitty situation and try and make the most of every situation you're in, because it's not worth feeling down in the dumps about where you're at in life. There's always a time that you can laugh about it or make light of situations, which is what Connor did.
Yeah. A thing that I've learned is that like making your life better or making yourself happier with your life, or like getting yourself out of a dark situation, like it requires effort. Like life isn't just gonna like get better, or things aren't just gonna change just by doing the same thing.
You have to do it.
And you have to do it, and like a lot of times that sucks. And like kind of going back to a few episodes ago, we read that life advice from that like dying woman, and one of them was like, if you guys don't like where you're at, like you do have the ability to change it.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of times people either don't realize that like it just goes right over their head that they can change it, or it's like that's just too daunting to even like try to start to change it. You know what I mean?
And like an example is that if like you're not happy with how you look, maybe like you're overweight, maybe you want to get bigger, like you can make that change.
Yeah. It's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be easy, but like you have the ability to make that change. There shouldn't be an excuse that you can't do it unless you're like paralyzed. That sucks then.
In which case you're just kind of
I don't know. Yeah. Sorry for all you paraplegics out there.
Yo, but any paraplegics, if you listen, let us know.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions.
Yeah. One thing that I have kind of taken away from Connor dying was like, since he's passed, it's really made me stop doing things that I don't like. For so long, I always felt like an obligation to do certain things, even if I like hated them or had no desire to do them, because like I thought that like either I'd have some sense of guilt if I didn't do it. Like for example, maybe this isn't the best example, but one example is like in school, I would always try really hard in every class, even if there was like certain classes or certain projects that I knew were like useless to what I wanted to do. And I was like, I would still just like try my best, which I guess in some sense is good. But I think there is a time when like, if you know that this thing isn't going to value your life, maybe your efforts and your energy is better spent on something else, or maybe a subject you care more about or something. But I would always try and like just grind everything equally. And like one thing, obviously I'm not in school anymore, but one thing I've stopped doing is like, if there's something that I'm not passionate about and I don't think it's going to improve my life, I just won't spend like any effort on it at all. And that way, like I can better allocate my energy to things I care about. Cause there's certain times in life when like you only have a limited amount of like energy to like spend on stressing or focusing every day. And if a lot of that energy you spend on like a bunch of bullshit or like arguing with someone or whatever, you're just not going to be like as like effective at the stuff that you actually care about.
Yeah. And I feel like there's times in your life where like, obviously it's good to help people, and like helping people feels good.
Yeah.
But there's also times where you kind of need to be selfish for yourself. And that's something that I've learned, because I'm the type of person that like I want to please everybody, and I want to try to like include everybody in certain things that I'm doing. Which is impossible. You just can't do that. And that's something that I've learned, that sometimes you just have to be selfish and say like, I'm not going to do that for you.
Yeah.
And like you can say no.
Yeah. There's a lot of times when like, let's say some of my family members or I guess anybody really will ask me to like help them with something. And if I always say yes, then it gets to a point where like they feel like they can kind of like take advantage of you. Like, oh, he always helps me with this. And like, maybe I don't desperately need his help, but I'll ask him because I know he'll say yes. And yeah, I agree. I've gotten to a point where there's times when I'm like, listen, I'm not going to do that for you. Like you can do that yourself. Like you don't need me to do that. And another thing that I took away from my friendship with Connor was like, just tell the people in your life whatever you're thinking, whether that be like a good thing or a bad thing. If you're frustrated with someone, just say it. And if you care about them, just say it. And I feel like a lot of times that's really probably the biggest thing for me is I would always overthink everything, which I still do. But I've gotten to a point where I've realized you really have two options in life when it comes to like your emotions. You can either express them or not express them.
Right.
And for me personally, it almost always works better if I just express it as opposed to trying to like hide it or beat around the bush. And like I've had a lot of situations that have proven that it works better for like things work out better in my life if I tell someone I care about them versus if I don't. And then if I'm frustrated, if I just don't say anything, it becomes apparent at some point. Like everybody realizes that I'm frustrated, and then there's this weird hostility. And if you just say it, generally that works out because it's like, okay, I'm upset. This is what's bothering me. This is what we can do to fix it.
And I think that goes the same way with like if you're just upset. It doesn't necessarily have to be about a person. Like if you're just having a hard day, like personally, I kind of keep my emotions like to myself. Like there's only a few people that I'll like really open up to.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, like I have a hard time. Like if I'm having a hard day and I feel like I need to, like I need my friends to come over or something, like I have a hard time expressing that and telling people that.
Yeah.
So that's something that I've learned, that if I ever do that, I feel way better after. And if I don't, then I'm just sitting there alone, sad.
Yeah.
It's like, some people want to be alone if they're sad. Some people I go both ways. Like sometimes I feel like I need to be with people. Sometimes I want to be alone.
Yeah.
But the times when you want to be with somebody, ask somebody. And if they care about you, they'll be there for you.
Yeah, for sure. I've realized that I don't know why it is this way, but there's certain people that I'm incredibly close with in my life that I just I don't have the type of relationship with them where I can tell them like how I'm feeling and everything. But then there's other people that maybe I'm not even as close with, but I'm more comfortable talking with them about it. Like,
yeah, me too.
There's certain, like, I don't talk about shit with my mom or my dad or my sister, which I'm probably closest with those three people out of anybody in my life. But I don't, like, listen, I could talk to them about my emotions and they'd be there for me 100%. It's just like, I don't feel like I get as much out of it when I talk to them versus if I talk to like one of my other friends, like Elle, let's say. Mm-hmm. I'm not as close with Elle as like a lot of my friends. I'm still good friends with her, but she's not like one of my like 3, 4, 5 closest friends. But I would tell her like a lot of stuff that I wouldn't tell my mom and sister, which is really weird. But I feel like you just can read certain people and certain people understand what you're trying to say. And
certain people are more helpful too. And that's not saying that your family's not helpful.
No, my sister's not really helpful. I'm gonna be honest. No, yeah. I love my sister, but like the thing that my sister, dude, if you ever listen to this, just take this one thing away.
I already know what you're about to say.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't know if you do.
Saying, "Oh, it'll be okay."
Oh, well, sort of.
Okay.
Yeah, Morgan, if you ever listen to this, I love you to death, but there's one thing that really bothers me, and it's like, I'll be really angry at someone or upset with something, and I'll make it clear what I'm upset about, and then she'll try and like find the thing that is good about every situation.
Which that is like a positive thing to have.
Yes, there's times when it is good to be like, hey, this sucks, but look at the bright side.
Yeah.
But there's also times when it's like,
I don't
want to look at the bright side. And if you tell me
just
to look
let
at
me be angry.
If you tell me to look at the bright side right now, I'm gonna want to punch you in the face. And like,
have you punched her in the face?
No, I'll just walk away.
Have you ever punched your sister in the face?
No. Why would I? What?
You just get angry sometimes, like when you're younger.
Your sister in
no,
the face?
I never have. If I'm like, when I was angry and I would hit her, I would never hit her in the face. I would hit her like body shots.
Yeah, I feel like I'd like elbow my sister in the boob.
Like, I give like a open hand, like a palm to the back of the head, maybe.
Yeah.
Never the face. Don't hit your sister.
Did you ever
in the face.
bite your sister?
No, she bit me all the time, dude. And she'd scratch me. She would do that girl thing where they just take all their fingers and just grab onto your forearm and just don't let go. And if you pull away, it scratches.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
My sister never did that to me, so I can't relate to the physical abuse.
Yeah, I was small.
Yeah. All right, Kyle, another question I wanted to ask you. What is a memory you have of Connor that is a more random memory that you haven't, not like a favorite memory? What's just a memory you have of Connor that the world probably hasn't heard?
I actually was thinking about one today in the shower, and it was kind of like along the lines of don't take everything too seriously. Like if you're in a shitty situation, like he always kind of found humor in it, and I'm kind of that way too.
Yeah,
I like to find humor in things. It makes things easier. So there was one time, it was when we were living together in Bellingham, and if you guys know, his tumor or his cancer had spread up into his abdomen, so he had like a softball-sized, cantaloupe-sized tumor in his abdomen.
Yeah.
And so like I was feeling it one time. He like I just asked him if I could feel it. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever. So I was feeling
it. Was it just in the middle?
Yeah, it was maybe a little off to the side.
But like around his belly button area, sort of?
Yeah, like around belly button, like a little bit to the left or right, or maybe something like that.
Just like rubbing him up.
So like I felt, I was feeling it, and he goes, "Dude, take a Snapchat of you punching it, and then like caption it beating the cancer out of Connor. And I was like, all right, cool. Like I have his permission. It's
I
like,
feel
it's
like you
fine.
shouldn't punch a tumor though.
I mean, I wasn't punching it. I was punching like near it. And it wasn't like actually punching him. It was more like shadow boxing.
Okay.
And he like filmed me do it. And then I wish I still had that video. I put it on my Snapchat story and I said like beating the cancer out of Connor. Cause like that's what he told me to capture it or to caption it. And I got like a lot of hate for it. Cause people were like, dude, like that's pretty insensitive. Like don't say that. But it's like, dude, if you know Connor, like he told me to do that.
Damn, you deleted it?
I never saved it. I just put it on my story. I wish I had. I wish I still had it.
Yeah, see, like a lot of people would think that's insensitive, but if you knew Connor,
Yeah. He told me to do it.
He was the one who like was probably like cracking up the most.
Yeah.
I thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. I'm trying to think of a memory that I have that I haven't told before. Let's see. Well, this is kind of obscure. This is actually really obscure.
Okay.
But I remember his form on how he ate his pizza.
What?
Like I vividly, I can picture.
But he always had a napkin.
Yeah,
That's one thing.
He always had a napkin, and he had a fake tooth, and so he would like.
Oh yeah.
Did he take his tooth out, or
There was a time where he.
there was a time when he just didn't have a tooth,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like removable. Like at one point, he just got a tooth permanently put back in.
I think so, but yeah, there was a point where he had a retainer.
Yeah. But I just remember I remember the form because he could only eat his food on like one side of his mouth because the other side was like fucked up, and so he'd like fold it in half and then he would like shove it in the side of like his mouth, and I just vividly remember like the image of that.
That's awesome.
What was you had one more?
Yeah, I might have shared it on the podcast, but this is just like a funny memory. It was again when we were living in Bellingham. And Bellingham is like, there's beaches there. And so when we were living up there, this is when we were going to school. He wasn't taking classes yet up there because he had to take time off because he was going through chemo and everything.
Yeah.
So he would come up on weeks that he was feeling healthy. And I was just at class, and I come home from class, and he just kind of has this like little smirk on his face, like he was up to something. And I kind of just didn't think much of it. And later that night, I found out that he had gone to a beach, found a dead crab, and put it in my bed. And I'm just going to bed for the night. It's like midnight probably. He kind of follows me into my room, and I'm just like, well, dude, what are you doing? And I open my door. I just like start.
What?
I pick up my sheets to like get in my bed, and I just see this dead ass crab in my bed, and it was like kind of wet, so it had like seeped like dirty like seawater into my bed. And I just turn around, and he's like filming me, and just goes, "You have crabs now," and then like runs away. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? You like put a crab in my bed.
So who cleaned it up? Did you? You did?
I think he refused to do it, so I just did it. I threw his crab away.
Where did you throw it?
It's in the garbage.
The normal garbage?
He said that originally he was going to go to the extent of finding duct tape and taping it to a toilet seat. So like when I went to pee, like I lifted it up and I saw a dead crab. But he said it wouldn't tape. And I think it might have fallen in the toilet, and I think he picked it back up and then put it in my bed. So I had seawater, toilet water in my bed. So I probably did get crab.
Did you sleep in your bed that night?
I did. I slept on the other side. And I washed my sheets later.
It's kind of gross.
Yeah. He was a prankster.
I also remember I was thinking of more obscure memories that we haven't already told. And I when I was at APU one time, it was sophomore year, so when he was just chilling up at Bellingham with you, and I was watching Zodiac, the movie Zodiac, and like halfway through I got bored or what. I mean, it's a good movie, but I got a little bored, and so I paused it, and then I FaceTimed you guys, and I remember like I talked on FaceTime with you guys for like an hour and a half one night. Damn. And that was like one of the longest FaceTimes I've had, and I don't even know what you guys were doing. You guys were just like chilling, but
probably playing Mario Baseball. That's like
probably.
all we did. We just like played Mario Baseball and like drank.
Yeah.
It's about all we did.
Well, anyways, on a lighter note, the other day I threw up in my mouth.
Okay.
And then
did you swallow it?
No, what happened was I threw up in my mouth, and right as that was happening, I coughed.
Oh.
And I was in my bathroom, and a little chunk like came out and like landed in my sink.
That's disgusting.
So I kind of real threw up, but it was more of like
I can that's gonna make me throw up in my mouth. That's just like I can picture that.
yeah, you know that feeling where it's like the acid in your back of your throat.
Yeah,
and then you
like
cough.
one little chunk. Oh, that's
And
gross.
then, dude, it was tiny though, but I was like, wow, that's like legit throw up.
I mean, I wouldn't say you threw up though.
I mean, kind of
You
is
kinda
what I
did.
did though.
You kind of coughed up.
I coughed up stuff from my stomach out into the real world.
All right,
Yeah.
but you haven't full on vomit.
I haven't awed in a while. When's the last time you awed?
When I had food poisoning 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for the 5th time this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully 2020 is a year of no food poisoning for me and Jordan.
And Shim, dude. Yeah. I've
Dude.
never got food poisoning, so.
I had never had it until this year, and I have had it 3 times.
Is it fun? Do you like the
It's
experience?
not. No, it isn't fun.
But
yeah,
it is
fun.
is it like a once in a lifetime? Like, is it one of those things where if
You
I'm
feel
about to
so
die
bad.
and I've never had it, should I try and get it?
No, you'd be fine. You could try. I mean, if you're just looking for illnesses.
Yeah, but
You
is it
wanna
one
go
of those
down throwing
things
up.
where
Sure.
I've talked about how sometimes I stress that, or I have this fear that I'm gonna die and not be able to experience everything in the world.
You don't need to experience it.
You think I could die without that one?
I think so. Yeah. Would you rather get shot or have food poisoning?
I want to get shot. I do.
I could
wanna
shoot
get
you.
shot.
If you sign a waiver, am I allowed to shoot you? We might have had this conversation.
We watched a movie the other day.
All right.
That's
cool.
Wait, no, I don't think you were with me, but I
I
watched.
definitely wasn't there.
Oh no, it's in Shameless. It's
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
yeah,
show
yeah.
Shameless. The newest season, or the season that's on Netflix right now, the newest one, 8 or 9. This guy doesn't want to go into the military, and so he basically asks this other guy to shoot him in the leg for him. Or no, he asks him to shoot him because he wants to die. And then the guy's like, I'm not gonna just shoot you. And he's like, all right, shoot me in the leg. And the guy's like, no, I won't. And so the other guy, he shoots himself in the leg, and then he starts singing poetry. And the guy gets so annoyed that he's singing
shoots him in the
poetry
leg.
that he shoots him again.
Yeah, I mean, that's very not realistic. I don't think that would ever happen. I mean, I'm sure
don't
people
know.
have gotten shot.
I'm sure
On
there's been
purpose.
fake shootings. Or
Oh,
someone who shot themselves.
Well, yeah, definitely. Well, there's Plaxico Burress who accidentally shot himself in the leg.
Yeah.
It's like,
But I mean,
you're pretty dumb for doing that.
relating to that, this might sound dumb, but I think this is a valid question. I always see in movies, if someone puts a gun in their belt, behind their back, or they shoot someone, then they're running away and they put it in their pocket or something, or
Yeah.
whatever. It's usually somewhere around the belt line
Mhm.
where they put their guns.
It's probably uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, one is probably uncomfortable, and I always wonder when you go to sit down, how does a little button, a button on your jeans, never accidentally
Pull
is
the
it
trigger.
is
I
it
mean, you can
really
put your
hard to pull the
You
trigger?
can put the safety on. I
Yeah,
think it
but-
might be harder to pull. I don't think it's easy to pull the
You
trigger.
don't think you could sit down and your phone accidentally kind of bumps into near the trigger and it pushes it in?
I mean, maybe, but I would hope if you're putting it in your jeans, you have the safety on, which is what Plaxico Burress didn't do.
I mean, I don't think a lot of those gangsters in gangster movies or Narcos.
Yeah, I don't know, but they're also good with guns, so they're not dumb.
Yeah, I don't know. I was surprised that
Having
people
a
don't-
gun stuffed in your groin basically looks so uncomfortable. Also, probably cold, right?
Well, they don't put it
It'd make me
against
shiver.
their bare skin.
They might.
They put it over their boxers, dude.
Hey, it's still cold. If it's winter, cold metal in your pants, you don't want that.
I mean, where else are they supposed to put their gun, though? Unless you have a gun holder, which most of the gangsters probably don't carry around gun holders because they want it to look like they don't have a
Yeah,
gun.
I don't know.
So-
Ass maybe.
They just shove it in their ass crack.
Pull it out.
Hold on one sec.
Oh! Hey, that'd be cool.
Um,
That'd be pretty intimidating. Got hit with a poop bullet.
Probably. All right. Well, another thing. Obviously, when you guys are seeing this or listening to this, it's past Christmas. But I just saw something Christmas related that I wanted to talk about.
Oh.
Have you heard of SantaCon?
No, but I can already guess it's a bunch of people dressed like Santa.
Yeah, it's in Seattle. It happened in Seattle
Oh.
a few days ago, and I don't really understand it. I don't know.
What's the point of it? Just Christmas spirit?
I don't know. I guess everyone dresses as Santa, and they all gathered together somewhere. I think it was at Pike Place or something, or near Pike Place. And I don't know what you do, but
March around?
I'm kind of intrigued though, and I kind of want to.
We could go next year. I could be like a reindeer and you could walk me around.
That'd be good content. for PIMS.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys want to see Kyle as a reindeer next year, let us know. But
We need more subscribers for that.
and I saw a tweet, and it just got me thinking because I had just heard about SantaCon. How come, it's 2019? Actually, it's 2020 now. Why is Santa still a white male? Why isn't Santa
I agree.
a Jamaican female that
Santa.
is also president? How come,
Santa can be whatever you want it to be.
I mean, it can, but
Everyone wants
no
to be a
one's
fat
changed
white
it
dude.
yet.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I'm kind of surprised that no one's like stretched the boundaries and been like, I'm Santa. Like, why can't I currently be Santa? Like why can't this be Santa's outfit? Like a Nike zip up and like some jeans.
Yeah, Santa is whatever you make it.
Yeah.
Do you think?
He's not even real.
I mean, I'm not black, so I don't know. But if I was black, I wouldn't think that Santa was white. I would think Santa was black, probably.
I mean,
Because like
you probably see pictures.
like
when you're
white
younger.
people think of Jesus as like white, but like he
In
clearly
reality,
was
he's,
Middle Eastern,
like from the Middle East. Yeah.
so he wasn't white. But like, I don't know. It's just interesting to me. He's always portrayed as this like white fat guy with a big beard.
Yeah. Cupid. Why is Cupid a fat baby?
And if he lives in the North Pole, it's probably like a Native American, right?
Well, it wouldn't be a Native American.
Well,
It would be,
see,
Eskimo is actually an offensive term, so I was trying to think of a better.
what do you
term.
call people that are like live in like the ice?
There's a word. I can't think of it.
An indigenous ice person.
Yeah, indigenous. Fuck, dude, I don't know.
I'll look it up.
What are you supposed to call Eskimos?
Not that.
I learned a class. I took a class on like Siberian history, like
Okay.
the plains of Siberia. So I learned a lot about like the kind of those people, a bunch of different tribes and shit, and mammoths.
Inuit?
Well, that's like a tribe.
Okay.
So it depends on where they are.
It says Eskimos here, but I think that's probably you're not supposed to say that now.
Yeah, you're not. It's just probably whatever people they are.
Yeah.
So northern people.
Yeah. But I don't know. I was just surprised that Santa's still white at this point.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is if you look at Asia and Europe, how it's white on one side, Asian on the other side, go south, they get like darker.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see like when I took that class, seeing how it spreads across and how they kind of start to change and like get to the looking more white. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah.
if you look at a Russian person, they look white, but they also almost look a little Asian.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. I just find
That's-
that interesting.
yeah.
And there's like some in the middle where it's like if you think like a combination of like an Indian person and an Asian person, kind of
Yeah.
like it's interesting.
Yeah. I was listening to a different podcast, and they were talking about like if someone who's Jewish and who's from Israel, if they're white, because like a lot of Jewish people look white, but like then there's people who say that like they're like, I don't know. They were just debating if like what constitutes someone who's white, and at what part of Europe are you white, and then at what part are you not white anymore?
Yeah, because like Spain, they're white, but they have like darker features.
yeah, see, but like there's
I mean, let's be honest. White, Sweden and Norway, Finland, Denmark, that's white.
that's as white.
That
as
is
it
white. That's
gets.
me. It's us.
Yeah. But then like yeah, like Spain, a lot of Spanish people, I don't know, like are they white?
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't know.
their skin's lighter, but
Their skin's lighter, but it's
but
darker.
see, that's one of those things where it's interesting to like look as you go further down south. Like Ronaldo, he's Portuguese, which is right next to Spain, and he doesn't look white.
yeah,
I don't know. It's just interesting to see how it like all kind of like
blends.
blends and then changes.
Yeah. It's crazy just the variety of the human race and how
Yeah.
like it is. I've seen photos of what you're talking about, how you like if you see a bunch of photos side by side of like people from different parts of the world, you can actually see like the cultures
Transformation
mix.
kinda, yeah.
And it's I don't know, it's super cool. I wanted to talk about this anyways, so it's good that we brought this up. But speaking of different cultures, there's been this thing going around on Twitter of like, I've always thought this was a thing, but I never saw people talk about it until now. But the term "ope,"
Ope?
yeah, have
Like
you?
you're an ope?
No, it's
Or
like
ope.
you say that I say it a lot. If
Yeah.
I open a door and there's like someone coming out, I'll be like, oh,
Ope, ope. Yep.
yeah. So that people are talking about it now a whole lot because apparently apparently it's a Midwestern thing that like it originated in the Midwest, like Indiana. What else? What other states are in the Midwest? Ohio,
Wisconsin. Is Illinois? Illinois, like
yeah, Illinois.
Is that the Midwest?
Yeah, Illinois is the Midwest.
Wisconsin's over there too.
Somewhere.
Minnesota, maybe. Minnesota.
No, but those are like north.
Yeah,
Why is it called the Midwest? They're in the dead center of the country. Just call it the center.
But then, what is the North called? What is like Minnesota?
The North.
No.
Yeah, we are the North. Isn't that? Oh no.
Yeah, but
that's Toronto, right? That's Toronto's slogan.
Maybe, but
we are the North.
Something like that. But also, like, what is? That's the Midwest, because that's when they have the like kind of almost Scandinavian accent.
Okay.
A lot of Scandinavian people live over there.
Yeah.
A lot of my people, our people.
But anyways, I've seen people talking about like how ope is a Midwest term, and now people are finally talking about it because it's now spread kind of across the country, and there's certain people that say it and get shit on for it, and they're like, what the fuck does ope mean?
What's wrong with ope?
I don't know. Apparently, I've just seen a lot of people on Twitter that like have been like, for example, this one girl that I know from like the gaming scene, she said that she never even knew it was a weird term until all her roommates started asking her like, why are you saying ope? And she just grew up as like, that's just a thing you say when like you're kind of surprised by something or like not prepared.
Yeah. What? I don't get what's confusing about that.
No, it's not confusing. It's just like people didn't even know that was a term. Oh. And like you never say, I don't really hear you say it, but I know you've told me before that I say it a lot.
Yeah, you do say it. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, but apparently it's like I even remember my buddy Anthony is from Indiana, and he was surprised that I said that.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, oh, you say that too?
You say ope?
And I was like, you know me, big ope guy.
People on the like, what do the Southern people say when they're surprised? Pardon? Howdy.
Why would they say howdy when they're surprised?
Dude, I don't know. What else would they say?
I don't know.
Y'all.
I like the term howdy. We need to make this howdy a nationwide term.
Watch in the corner. Y'all. I don't know.
But
I'm gonna look up other terms for ope. I don't know if it's gonna show up. How do you spell OPE?
All right, I looked up ope on Urban Dictionary. It says ope, something you say when you are surprised. Oh, that's not a toilet. Ope, not on the dog, dude.
Ew.
Someone's shitting on a dog. They say it's a Midwest thing. When someone cuts in front of you rudely, when you're surprised, when you bump into someone, or when something is offensively funny, you use the word ope. So, for example, boss says you're getting a promotion. You say, ope, really? I wouldn't say ope there.
That's a little too much.
That's like real Midwestern.
Mine's more like if I walk around a corner and I see somebody.
Yeah.
Or if I drop something and it's like an awkward situation.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
I always wonder though, what made that a part of my lingo, because my parents, I never hear them say that, and so it's always interesting to me like what builds your like vocabulary as a person.
People around you, people that you
yeah, like I'm sure there's somebody that I know or that I'm close with that says it, that maybe subconsciously it's become a part of my vocabulary, but I don't even know. I can't think of.
I've never even noticed that was like a thing that people were confused about.
Yeah, apparently they are.
It's just been a part of my life.
Yeah.
Not that I say it a lot, but I've never noticed people say it really.
I have noticed that there's certain terms or just little like one-liners or things that I'll say that, and I'll notice more consciously ever since I started the podcast, that I am influenced by like certain shows that I watch or I listen to like other podcasts, and there will be certain terms that I'll say that was not one of my terms before, like watching the show or
like
watching
what?
This movie.
I've noticed you started saying yo.
That's been like for a few years. I feel like I've done that since high school, but
really, I don't remember you saying yo. Yo.
I don't know.
Something I've noticed about different cultures in the U.S. The term asshole for us, like calling someone an asshole means like they're a douchebag.
Yeah,
but
like
I've noticed that like people say asshole, that means like idiot, like he's stupid, like I'm an asshole, like I screwed up.
Yeah, it's not even just other countries. I think even in other parts of the U.S.
That's what I meant.
Yeah,
like other parts of the U.S.
Yeah, there are. I never even really noticed that, but there are times when it's like asshole is used in the context of like
stupid.
like a dumb mistake. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, but
I'm an asshole.
when I think of asshole, I think of like a
like fuck
terrible
you, you're an
person.
asshole. Yeah.
Yeah, I've just this is kind of a bad one, but I've just started like saying fuck a lot more.
Oh.
And I don't think that's necessarily a good thing. I also don't think like it's bad. I think there's like a time and a place for it, but if you say it too much, it's
There's a time and a
annoying.
place for fuck. Yeah. You know, I'm not gonna say it to your mom.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, definitely not. And I don't think I overdo it, but I got a comment on our marathon video.
Did you say fuck in a lot of the marathon video?
I don't think so. Or no, sorry. It was my 7 days of silence. Okay, so if you guys don't know, I posted a video. I posted a video on my personal YouTube channel, The Narwhal, where it was this experiment where I literally didn't talk for 7 days, and basically throughout this video I documented it, but then I also kind of like once it was over, I did like voiceovers explaining the whole thing. And the other day I woke up to a new comment, because that video still gets a lot of views like every day. I got a comment. I don't know who it had to have been, like an old mom or something, like an old grandma, and they
Shouldn't
said
be on YouTube.
they said something along the lines of you, and then they would do like little asterisks or like little asterisks, and they'd say you bleep did bleep this bleep challenge bleep. They were basically trying to like make fun of me and say that every other word you were swearing. And I went back and rewatched it, dude. I found like maybe like 3 or 4 swear words the whole video, and the last thing they said in their comment was, maybe your next challenge should be not swearing for 7 days.
All right, mom.
I'm like, all right, lady, chill. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, you should reply, fuck you, bitch.
No, but I don't know. I think that I'm self-aware enough to realize, like, obviously I re-listen to our podcasts because I edit them and I rewatch my videos. I think I could tell if I had gotten to a point where I was misusing swear words.
Yeah, you don't want to overuse them.
Yeah.
And I hope that I don't do that either.
And I don't want to be the guy where it's like, oh, and then I fucking went to the grocery store.
Yeah, it's like that. You didn't need to. It's like you didn't need to do that. But sometimes it makes it funnier when you say it like that. There's certain people that like when they swear, it's way funnier.
Yeah, there's certain people that I almost expect them to swear every other word. There's just certain people that the way they talk, it just rolls off the tongue better if they say fucking, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. This is something, again, it's 2020. Our transitions haven't improved.
Yeah, no.
This is just something that I need to discuss. Dude, the cliche that people say, like, people can't drive in the rain, it's so true. I was driving over here, and it's raining pretty hard. But if it's raining, you don't need to be going 30 on the highway in the left lane.
Yeah.
Move over. God, dude, there's so many dumb people. And there's people that go like 80. Yeah. It's like, all right, let's find the middle here. Like, if it's raining really hard, it's okay to go like 40 or 50 on the highway. Just move over.
Yeah. And I think it's also okay to still go 60 if you're comfortable with it.
If you feel comfortable, that's okay. Maybe move over and don't be weaving around lanes. Don't be like tailgating people, because it's dangerous for both of you, especially in the rain. But, dude,
if you're an old grandma or you grew up somewhere where it doesn't rain, I understand. You're going to be a little bit scared when it's pouring down rain. But you have to understand that if you are like us and you grew up in Seattle where it is like a torrential downpour.
Driving in the rain's like...
It's literally the same to me.
Yeah, unless it's like pouring and there's puddles.
Unless I can't see because my windshield wipers can't go fast enough, I'm going to drive the same as I would in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
And like I feel like people get scared or don't realize that cars are built to withstand the rain. Like,
unless you have like bald tires.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, obviously there's times when the road can get a little slick, but as long as if you're just going the speed limit and being an attentive driver, almost always the rain isn't going to change anything. Yeah.
And it really was bugging me on the way over how many people were going so slow in the left lane. It's like, dude.
Were you just bobbing and weaving through?
I didn't want to be that guy because it actually was raining pretty hard and there were a lot of puddles. And I was hydroplaning a little bit at certain times. So I was going slower too. I was probably going like 50. But you don't need to be going 30 in the left lane.
Yeah.
God. Also, I drove through the biggest puddle on the highway. I don't know how it happened. It was like the whole section of the highway was just a big-ass puddle. and it was like one Mississippi, like a full one Mississippi of driving through it, which if you're going like 50, it's pretty fast.
Yeah.
So like I slowed down, but dude, there were people that were going it was so annoying because people would drive through it and then slam on their brakes. If you're hydroplaning, don't slam on your brakes.
Yeah.
And so like I would have to slam on my brakes too, and then a person behind me almost hits me. It's like, dude, we're all just flying through this puddle and then slamming on our brakes. I hate people that drive so bad in the rain. Like, yeah, it really, really pisses me off.
Yeah. But at the same time, we have to understand that there's a lot of people that grew up not driving at all. Like,
that's fine.
Like if you moved from, I don't know, what countries do people not drive a lot? Yeah, I think in China, don't they do a lot of public transportation?
Definitely.
I don't know. But like if you grew up where you never really drove and then you get here, you're an adult and you have to learn how to drive and you never been in the rain that much, it's going to be a little scary, so I get it. But then I also have to think like if there's snow, I'm not good at driving in the snow because we don't have that much snow here. But my buddy Anthony, who grew up in Indiana, he said that to him, to most of the people where he grew up, driving in the snow is the same as not driving in the snow. I would be like that annoying person because I would be going really slow in the snow.
But then don't go in the left lane. That's the simple solution here. Is
Okay.
you don't need to be all the way over in the fast lane if you're not going to drive fast.
So you're okay with them going slow as long as they're in the right lane.
Look, if you don't feel comfortable driving fast, unless it's like a clear day and you're still going like 40 on a highway, like if you're going 40 on a highway on a clear day, you shouldn't be driving.
Yeah.
Because something's wrong with you. You don't feel comfortable. Like,
yeah.
something's wrong. But yeah, if the weather conditions are bad, you can go slow. If you want to feel safe, like that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't get in my way.
Yeah. It's going to be a bad feeling when if we even make it to the age where
we're the annoying old drivers.
Well, no, where you get to the point where like your children tell you that like you shouldn't drive anymore.
Yeah.
Like my grandma recently, we kind of told her like, "Hey,
Can't
grandma,
drive.
I don't think you should drive because like your vision isn't the best anymore."
Yeah.
That's got to be such a demoralizing feeling because like
I'm sure it is.
as you get older, a lot of things start to go.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like first it's maybe your hearing, and then maybe some of your vision a little bit.
Maybe your
but
mind
then
a little
you can
bit.
still see. Then your mind a little bit. Maybe sometimes like your poo-poos, they go without you knowing sometimes.
Dude, that's gonna suck. When I have to wear a diaper.
No, I don't even think that it's like that bad. It's just
No, it does get that bad.
No, it does. But I'm saying there's also old people who don't need to wear diapers, but they just can't control their stuff as good as they used to.
Yeah, no, I understand.
So like maybe they think they can hold it, and they try and like go to the store and back, and then they get to the store and it's like coming out.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of bad drivers, dude, my grandma, she was the worst driver I think on the face of the planet.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, R.I.P. And it was like a.
She didn't die in their car, by the way.
No, she didn't. We were getting to the point where we were about to say like no more driving until she passed away.
But was she bad like before she
Dude,
even was old?
my mom
She was
told
just
me
always
my
bad?
uncle's like she's been bad her whole life, and like there was a story that my uncle told at our funeral where they were in Germany, I think, or France or something, and she like. She was either asking for directions from somebody or she stalled in the middle of an intersection and some guy was trying to help her out, and she was like doing a stick shift and she accidentally went in reverse and this guy was behind her and she just drives and just hits this guy right in the kneecaps and he's just like cursing her out in like French or German or whatever, and then she drives away. So she's been bad.
Damn.
She's been hitting people. She ran over one of their pregnant dogs when they were younger and the dog lost the puppies. The dog lived. She ran over their dog in the driveway.
Wait.
Yeah.
She ran over a pregnant dog?
Yeah.
And the babies died, but the
puppies died, yeah.
inside of her.
Yeah. I guess, yeah.
How do those die, but if the mom didn't die?
I don't know. That's just what I was told.
Damn,
And
dude.
then I remember this clear memory of my grandma. We were meeting her somewhere, and we're like pulled up to like an intersection, and she's supposed to come towards us. We're facing a hill, and she's supposed to be coming up that hill and down that hill towards us, and then we're meeting somewhere. So we're at this intersection. We're just facing this hill, and up from the top of the hill, we just see like my grandma's car, like kind of poking up and like starting to head down. And then behind her is just this long trail of cars because she went so slow. Dude, she was like the slowest grandma driver ever.
You could just see her in the distance, like holding up a bunch of traffic.
Yeah, we're like, oh, there's grandma. And then just like 5 seconds later, we start seeing cars like piling behind her, just like this long ass line of cars.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. And one time, this was when I realized how scary it was to be in the car with her. I was driving back from Thanksgiving. It was before I could drive, or she was driving back from Thanksgiving. It was before I could drive. And they put me in the car with her because they didn't want her to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, yeah, we'll put your life in danger. So we're driving back at night. And for some reason, my grandma, like, instead of looking at the center line to, like, line up with, she kept looking on the outside line. And the outside line of the road would disappear. So she'd be like, oh, where's the line? And she'd be, like, driving all over the place. And I'm like, Grandma, I don't even drive, but look at the center line. I know you're supposed to look at the center line.
So she'd start kind of, like, wandering off
she'd
the
be like,
road.
oh, I can't see. Oh. I'm like, Grandma. It was so stressful. Dude, driving with like an old person is really scary sometimes.
And it's just like, well, for me, it's I've never felt scared with an old person. I've just felt like frustrated because my grandparents, they refuse to use. I mean, like, listen, there's some grandparents that are good with technology and like hip is, I guess, but
She was not.
most grandparents aren't, and mine, you know, they're not big into like trying to learn how to use this new technology, so they don't use Google Maps or anything.
Mm-hmm.
They'll like sometimes they'll like MapQuest, which was used to be this thing where you could just like before you went on your trip, you would go on your computer, go to MapQuest, and it would give you like, you know, turn by turn directions.
Then it's like you make one turn wrong and then you're screwed.
Yeah, you don't know how to get back on track, but they'll use that, or they just will like sometimes if they're going far, they'll use an actual map, or they'll just like. Or they'll just call someone and be like, hey, so we're on Highway 52, and we just passed mile marker 197. Where do we get off?
Dude, how do people know that?
I don't know. But, like, sometimes I'll be riding with them, and we're trying to just go, like, you know, 4 miles away to dinner, you know, an easy drive. And I can just GPS this place. And it's only going to take a few minutes. And I try and tell them, like, look, I'll just GPS it. And my grandpa's like, no. Like, I got it. And then it always ends up taking 3 times as long because they make a wrong turn.
Old people are stubborn.
I hope I'm not stubborn, man.
Me too.
I mean, I know there will definitely come a time where there will be a new technology that the youth will think is cool that I will think is, like, not beneficial or something, you know?
And then it will be very beneficial.
And it will be, I hope that I can, like, objectively look at something and see, like, I'm old and I don't get it, but that's probably good.
Yeah, like, are they going to make fun of me for still having, like, an iPhone 6 when I'm 90?
I mean, if you still have an iPhone 6.
That's basically like having, like, one of those phones where you fucking spin the dial or whatever. Or you, like, what are the ones where you pick it up and it's, like, you have, like, a hearing one and then, like, a speaking one? Is that, like, the 20s?
That's even before that one.
That's before our grandparents. All right.
That's, like, World War I. Maybe even before that. I don't know. So another random ass thing, and then we'll get onto the segments here. But the other day, like, I was looking at the word "what," and it looked so wrong because I kept seeing W hat, and I was like, I couldn't remember. I'm like, that's not how. That can't be what. And then I thought that what was W-A-T.
What?
And I tried typing it out. And it said that it was wrong.
Dude.
So I did W hat again, and it worked. And you just have those times when your brain doesn't accept it.
I had the same thing yesterday. I was writing a thank you card for a Christmas gift, and I was trying to write presents, but I wrote presents like it's spelled Presents, right?
Presents.
Yeah, presents. It's the same word as presents. And so I wrote that down, and I was like, oh, that says presents. I'm stupid. And I crossed it out, and I started writing a new card.
Were you on pen?
Yeah, I was on pen. So then I started a new card. I wrote Preasants. And I'm like, this isn't even close.
Presents.
Presents. Like,
Presents.
I was like, this isn't even close.
It's like peasants.
So I had to look it up, and it's like, and then it's like
pre-peasants.
It's the same thing as presents, and it like blew my mind. I was like, I thought there was an A in there somewhere. Then I felt really dumb.
Yeah. Like, I've had that happen where I was looking at my own last name. Or no, I was like saying my last name.
Farrar.
And I said it over and over to the point where it didn't really make sense. I was like, Farrar. And
Farrar.
It's weird, man. Do you ever...
What?
This is going to sound...
Just say it.
Do you ever like look at your last name and it doesn't look like it's your last name? Like, do you ever forget that your last name is Stafford and you see it? Like, it look like, you know that there's other people with the last name Stafford, but then you look and you're like, holy shit, like, that's my last name too? Because because like I looked at my name on paper the other day, and the Farrar just
It looked wrong.
like I've always known that my name is John Farrar, and when I look at John, that's like, oh, that's my name. But when I looked at Farrar, for whatever reason on this day, it felt like I was looking at some other person I knew, and that's their last name and not mine.
I can't say I relate on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, but this is sort of related. But the other day or yesterday, I was rewatching the Ted Bundy movie with Zac Efron.
Wow, you like rewatching it? How
Yeah,
come?
I was really bored, dude. I was looking for a movie like all day, and I found that again. I was like, I haven't seen that in a while.
Okay.
So I was watching.
Out of every movie, you pick one about
it was
Ted
just,
Bundy.
Look, it's just the one that popped up. All right, I'm not a serial killer yet. Anyways, when they say Lake Sammamish a bunch of times, which is like the lake like right here.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, dude, Zac Efron knows what Lake Sammamish is.
Zac Efron probably visited here because
They didn't film anything.
Well, no,
here.
they didn't film here, but I bet he visited because a lot of actors, they want to learn about everything.
He at least looked at pictures.
Yeah, like they like to learn everything about their role and like who they're supposed to be and that where this character grew up and stuff. And if I had to guess, I bet he visited that park, where that Lake Sammamish State Park.
That'd be sick. You're just like swimming and just Zac Efron walks up. You're like, oh my god, Zac Efron.
Yeah, but it is weird when you see like your hometown. I mean, it's different if you grew up in like New York City. It's like, you see that everywhere. But when we see like our random suburb in a big movie,
yeah,
it's weird.
It is weird
because it's like everyone in the world that watches this movie is hearing about Lake Sammamish.
Like I get way too excited hearing when they say Lake Sammamish. I'm like I want to tell everyone like, dude, I know that place. I know what he's talking about,
dude.
I've been there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, I feel you.
Should we hop into our segment?
Yeah. This has been a really strange episode, but what's new? So guys, like we said at the beginning, this is season 3 of Peak to Middle School, which as a result means we're mixing things up a little bit. One thing, Kyle and I switched spots, so check out YouTube because now you see my pretty side.
I see how gross I look in my life.
And the second one is we're going to be mixing up the segments a little bit. And so what we decided was we are going to keep our most iconic segment, which is A and F of the week. And that's going to be once a week because those are just iconic. And I feel like that's some of like my favorite content to talk about. But then we're going to be adding some new ones for the other days of the week. And we're also going to be adding a new segment for each day. So anyways, Kyle, what is your A this week? Who did great? Who won?
The Kardashian Wests.
Okay.
Because in their Christmas picture, they're wearing sweats.
Okay.
And I just respected that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I wish that like I could be that famous that it's cool that I wear sweats in my Christmas picture. You know
yeah,
what I
like
mean?
if anybody else wore sweats in a Christmas picture, it's like, why didn't you look nice?
Yeah, it's like you're the sloppy family. But they did it. It's like, that's really cool. That they
because
did that.
you're so rich, it's like breaking.
Everything you do is cool.
Yeah, but their sweats are probably like $30,000.
Yeah, it's probably Gucci sweats, but whatever.
Yeah,
I just like that. I appreciated that.
Yeah, I hope we get to a point where it could be or like a style trend in and of itself to like
look ugly.
Not look ugly, but just look like
no
disheveled
effort.
And no effort. I want that to be its own style.
Yeah.
So your hair is crazy. You got sleep in your eye. You got
just boogers hanging out.
Yeah, you just like
haven't shaved in a week.
You haven't like ironed your shirt for a while, and then you're wearing pajama pants. Like that would be a really cool trend.
I'd be down for that.
If enough celebrities do anything, they can make it a trend.
Yeah. See, when I become a celebrity, if I was ever a celebrity and became like famous, I would just do whatever the fuck I want and like wear whatever the hell I want. And that's cool.
But what would there be anything that you would want to do that's different than what you do? Like you say you do anything you want, but wouldn't that just be wearing what you wear every day now?
Like if I was big enough, I wouldn't wear a suit and tie to like the Oscars. I'd show up in sweats.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Do they?
I would never be nominated for an Oscar. So.
But there is like, the thing I don't understand is I think those fancy events.
I'll put a tie on.
I think they have a dress code, but then
I'd find a way around it.
Famous people show up and just don't follow it, and they're not gonna like
you're not gonna kick Kanye out.
Yeah, you're not gonna kick Shia LaBeouf out just because he like wore a bag on his head.
Exactly.
Because then you look bad. So
right.
the dress code doesn't really exist.
Maybe I'll wear a bag, like bag pants,
plastic bag, suffocate.
Well, not on my head, like for my pants, like a diaper.
Oh, a plastic, like a Fred Meyer bag.
I'd look like SpongeBob. I'd dress up like SpongeBob.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. You'll see one day.
Cool.
What about you? What's your A?
My A is this is like, it's really cool, but it's also one of those things that you shouldn't laugh at, but I laugh every time.
Okay.
There's
Just a disabled person.
yeah, sorta. There's this improv class in Seattle, and it's for people with Alzheimer's and memory loss. So it's like,
That's probably so funny.
the whole idea of the class is it's this space to be inclusive of people that can't remember like
Anything.
something from even a couple minutes ago.
Yeah.
So there's some people where their Alzheimer's gets really bad, or there's just people with other forms of really bad short-term memory loss. So they'll start a scene, but the whole idea with improv is like you just take it
go.
and run. You just
Yeah.
go, and whatever you feel like saying or doing based on the context of the scene, you just do it. And so they figured this would be beneficial for people with memory loss because they feel like they're a part of something, and it's like a group activity where
All
they
right.
don't feel like where they're not like being burdensome. Is that the word? Or
Burdensome? A burden?
bothersome?
Bothersome, yeah.
I mixed them. But so I saw clips from this this class. It was on the news, and my parents were watching it.
Oh, man.
And there was like the instructors, and then there's like a 90-year-old lady, like an 88-year-old guy, and like just a strange mix of people. And they like are kind of acting together, but I think they just forget what they're doing
It
every
makes no
couple
sense.
minutes.
Damn. See, like it's probably really funny for the instructors. It's probably I bet the instructor, it was a combination of let's help these people. This would be very cool, but also this is going to be hilarious, and like this would be a great job to have.
Yeah. I think those type of people are morally better people than we are.
Yeah.
So they probably don't think it's funny. They probably just think it's like, wow, this is such a
Oh.
beautiful thing that humanity can create this
Good acting.
cohesive environment.
All right, Herb.
But to me, it's like
It's
it was
funny.
pretty funny, and it was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
All right.
Kyle, who's your F? Who failed? Who was a dummy?
I had written this one a little while back. Jordan in fantasy, he was the number 1 seed. I was the number 8 seed, and I rocked his world in fantasy. And now I'm in the finals.
How many points did you beat him by?
Like 40.
That's a lot?
That's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, he got pooped on.
And
And he was talking big shit about, oh, I'm the number 1 seed. I'm so good. Blah, blah, blah. Now he's got to jump in the lake.
he bet
and he's-
you did he bet you
$10.
money?
Paid me $10. So he still hasn't jumped in the lake yet. So
And if you guys have seen our video that we posted on PIMS from last winter that we posted when we hit 50 reviews, the lake is fucking freezing in the
Yeah.
winter. So
he's going to cannonball in.
he's going to have a blast.
And then my other one is the new toilet. Have you seen that? There's businesses have created a new toilet that is like slanted down.
Like the squatty potty.
No. But it's not to really benefit you. It's to make you uncomfortable so you don't sit there for a long time at work. It's to make you like more productive at work so you don't want to take. It's like
Dude.
you're just there to do your business and leave because like it's uncomfortable because you're leaning forward. That's fucked up, but it's
Dude, if my business did that, that's so stupid. I'd
Yeah.
be so mad if I worked at like a corporate company. They're like, all right, guys, we got a new company policy here. We're going to get new toilets. So you only want to spend a couple minutes in there.
yeah, and you're like leaning forward to take a shit. Like,
I mean, I would like I would find a way to still waste time in the bathroom.
bring a stool in there or something. Yeah.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. So it's not something that people would like put in their house.
No, unless they really don't want to be unproductive. Look, if you're someone that spends too much time on the toilet, which sometimes I am, and sometimes I'll just get lost in something on my phone, and
Yeah.
I realize I'm not even pooping anymore.
Yeah.
So,
I don't like. I'll definitely like. I'll go on my phone when I'm taking a shit, but I don't feel like I waste. When I'm done pooping, I'll just put my phone aside, wipe, and then I'll go on with what I was doing.
I am too for the most part, but there are times where I'm like, I've been done for a while.
Yeah.
Why am I still here?
I know this guy that he hates showering because he says he's like waste time in the shower, and I'm like, that's the best part of my day is wasting time in the shower.
I feel great after a shower.
If I take a 30-minute shower,
I'm cleaning myself for like 5 of those minutes.
yeah, but it's like you feel so good after a long
Yeah.
shower.
I'll stick my face in the water. I'll spit some water out.
Yeah,
I'm,
see,
I'm a big like playing with the water.
I don't let the water in my mouth in any way.
Oh, it's all up in my mouth. I'm just.
But then you spit out and you get like saliva down your mouth that you don't really realize.
Then you go back in the water and go.
Right.
I'll do a lot of spit takes in the shower. I'll improve my acting. Like, what'd you say?
Kyle just has like little conversations with himself.
I do. Yeah, I do.
All right. Well, my F, I have two.
Okay.
First of all, we talked about the $125,000 banana, and then your dad showed us that
somebody just ate it.
the guy who bought the banana took it off the wall and ate it right after he bought it.
I respect that.
So he basically just gave $125,000 away, which maybe
If you're rich.
maybe this was like a charity-driven thing, which would be cool.
Yeah.
But this, I don't know. I mean, it's his loss, but it's also kind of cool because he's just like, look how rich I am. I don't even care.
Yeah. Must be nice. That's a guy that could wear sweats anywhere.
Yeah. My other F was YouTube Rewind 2019. So
Okay.
do you know what YouTube Rewind is?
I can assume it's like your highlights from your YouTube year.
Yeah, well, it's YouTube makes it themselves, and YouTube posts it at the end of every year, and it's like the highlights of the whole platform and like all the creators, and they make this like.
Did we make it?
Unfortunately, PIMS did not make it in YouTube Rewind.
Next year.
But basically, they try and capture like the environment of YouTube and like what people liked this year and what videos went viral and the creators that are big and cool and popular. And it used to be a thing that the whole community got excited for back in like 2013, 2014. It was like cool. And it progressively has just gotten like worse and worse as YouTube has become more like corporate and all the creators have become more like just mega stars that are super rich and just, it becomes a lot more like brand and money focused as opposed to like highlighting the awesomeness of the community. And anyways, so the last 3 or 4 years haven't been that good, but last year's I think broke some record for like the most amount of dislikes on a video. I don't know if it's ever, but
Who did they highlight?
I mean, they highlight a bunch of things. It's hard to explain, but if you watch it, you'll see why people fucking hated it. And it broke some record for dislikes, and it was insane how much people shitted on it. And then this year, they tried to revamp it, and they basically, at the beginning of the video, it has text on the screen like, you guys didn't like what we did last year, so we're going to make it way better for you guys this year.
Already hate it.
Something like that. And this video just got shit on, and it got like way more dislikes than even the previous year.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so YouTube just can't win. Like you can see they put an effort to try and realize like, hey, our community thought this was shit. Let's do something better. But they ended up just making something a lot worse.
YouTube's an interesting place where everyone loves it, but at the same time, everyone hates it.
Yeah, it's because there are like hidden gems of channels where people, like ours, or like, there's this guy that Kyle and I both found a long time ago, but his name is like Critical or Penguin Zero.
Yeah.
It's just this guy. He's actually really famous now, but like
back then, not really.
Yeah, not really. And it's someone like the community likes people that don't stray from their roots and they don't sell out, and they're just like genuinely just like weird channels or weird guys or funny guys or whatever. But nowadays it's so many just like mega stars that are like
flying a helicopter over the desert.
Or it's like
sweet dude,
these like makeup tutorials. I mean, if you like makeup tutorials, that's fine. But like, I don't know. There's these people that are like 30 years old that make these like over exaggerated videos for like 6-year-old kids, and like vlogging with my stepbrother, and like they go like jump off a building and all this shit. I don't know.
God.
And then Logan Paul and KSI fight each other for views and money, and people like give into this and like care about it.
Don't bring no attention to it.
They're doing this on purpose, guys. Like, so many people that are like grown ass adults that are like our age. They're 21 to 25 that I follow in the gaming scene. They're so invested in this like drama on YouTube, and I'm like,
It's not real.
It's not real.
They're probably friends.
They're making so much money because they just create this drama that you guys just eat up. It's like, why? They're just assholes.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. That's why, one day, Kyle, when we're famous,
We're gonna be on YouTube Rewind, and we're gonna get a lot of likes.
Yeah, man.
Because they're gonna be like, "Oh, those guys made it.
Yeah.
They're so dope."
They actually I saw it. This one of my favorite YouTubers and podcasters named Joe Santagato. He I saw on his Instagram story, he was rated like number 2 on this list of like. There was this article that was posted of 10 YouTube creators that blew up in 2019 that people were like actually happy blew up.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
it was this list of people that like didn't sell out and people don't hate that people actually like, and so it's people like Cody Ko, or like, you know, Joe Santagato, and just those type of people that are respected. And you know, so maybe one day, Kyle, maybe one day we could make that list.
We'll finagle our way.
We'll be like 55 and we'll make it as number 10.
I'll take it.
That'd be the goal. All right, guys, our last segment, at least for this time, we might think of more, but you know, we're still figuring everything out.
Let us know if you have ideas.
Yeah. But our last segment for today, we're gonna call it movie time, because everybody loved in class when, you know, you had a sub for the day.
Maybe you watch like, Bill Nye. Yeah,
you're like, come on, please don't make us like actually work. And they're like, hey, we're gonna watch The Magic School Bus today. You're like, fuck yeah,
Miss Frizzle.
So basically, this is gonna be my segment, and then on the other days, Kyle will have his own particular segment. So I'm gonna recommend. I'm big into movies, big film guy, TV show, video games, anything, and I'm gonna recommend you guys something to watch that I've watched and why you should watch it.
Okay, give it to me.
So Kyle, there's this movie called Arctic
Circle.
Oh, I didn't even.
It all comes back.
We were talking about that. Yeah. So this guy gets stuck in the Arctic. I don't know which Arctic, because there's a lot of Arctics.
The Arctic is north. Antarctic is down.
That's so dumb.
Why is that dumb?
Arctic is not. So the Antarctica has no Arctic in it.
The Arctic Circle's north. The Arctic to me is north, because that's the Arctic Sea.
To me, anything that's just a lot of fucking ice and snow, I think of the Arctic. But
that's north.
Okay. Well, anyways, the reason I like this movie so much is like the first probably hour of this movie, there's maybe like 10 words that are said in the whole movie. So it might turn some people away, but I feel like if a movie can capture you and make you intrigued by not saying any words, that says a lot about the story and like the characters.
Okay.
And basically this guy gets stranded in the Arctic because he's a pilot and his plane crashes. And he's in like the middle of nowhere. And he's like built this life out of his like crashed plane. And
so it's like Castaway, but Arctic kind of?
Kind of, yeah. But it gets fucking crazy because there's like
that.
Polar bears, and then like these people try and come and save him, and then their plane crashes because a storm hits when they come to save him. So then he has to save these other people.
Wow. Well, don't spoil it, but I'd like to watch that. That sounds cool.
It's really cool. And I don't know. I'm just a fan of anything like nature, like planet Earth type stuff.
Yeah, me too.
And this one like makes me fear of ever going to like ice. Anywhere icy or snowy, I don't really want to go after watching this.
Yeah, I mean.
So, anyways, thank you all so much for listening to this episode of Peak to Middle School. If you guys are on one of the audio streaming platforms, like we said, definitely check out YouTube. It's really fun. We spend a lot of time on making these videos cool. We have a whole studio here. And this is the beginning of season 3, which is really exciting. So we're going to definitely mix things up. We have some cool different ideas for episodes this season. So thank you all so much for the support. And let's start off 2020 with a bang. Maybe you guys could tell your friends, put us on your Instagram story, leave a review.
Bang.
On Apple on Apple Podcasts. That helps us out a lot. So anyways, Kyle, where can they follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at KyleSafford36. And you can follow the podcast at PIMS Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and what have you.
We'll talk about that next episode.
We'll get there later. Anyways, yeah, send us messages. Like we said, if you have any ideas for segments or anything you'd like us to talk about, let us know. We love hearing from you guys. That is all I have.
You can follow me at Hey Narwhal on Twitter and Instagram. You can also subscribe to my personal YouTube channel called The Narwhal. And with that being said, there are new episodes of Peak to Middle School every single Monday and Thursday. We missed one episode in 2019. It was in like our second week of doing it. But my goal and my commitment to you guys is there will be a new episode every Monday and Thursday for the entire year. That'd be pretty big. So if we can stick to that, that'd be pretty dope. So thank you all so much. You guys mean the world to us, and we will see you all next time. Goodbye.
We love you.